Welcome to the top 10 cornerbacks list, which if you are new to this channel, this is sorted out by their consensus big board placements. My own personal rankings with their film will come out starting in February, so if you're interested, subscribe to the channel. Anyways, let me just start off by saying this cornerback class is stacked, and Kris Abrams-Draine coming in 10th place proves it. The Mizzou cornerback followed a 0 interception season last year to 4 interceptions this year, proving his NFL worthiness. Abrams-Draine's positives start with his athleticism, as his pure speed and explosiveness are among this class's best. The athleticism he has will translate to quick recovery speed on routes. Combining with his athleticism, he has great ball skills as shown in his 4 picks and 11 pass breakups in 2023 and his 14 pass breakups in 2022. Just do not test his athleticism and ability to jump routes. On the downside, his great athleticism allows for his physical traits to suffer. He's not efficient in press coverage, and his tackling ability could use some heavy improvements. This brings NFL draft concerns, as with his skill-specific nature, he could be sought out by only a select few amount of teams. Abrams-Draine is a competitor athletically, and he could be a great addition to many teams. His most common mock destination is to the Dallas Cowboys. Coming in 9th on this list is TCU's Josh Newton. He's been consistent over his last 2 years at TCU and his first 4 with ULM, proving that he is a worthful asset. Newton has phenomenal ball skills in the air. He's great at tracking the pass, and in 2023, teams avoided targeting him simply for that reason. He's very physical in press coverage and is great at matching any physical move made by the wideout. He has some very nice click and squeeze abilities that NFL teams are absolutely going to adore. Negatively, he's got a lot of great coverage traits but minimal run support traits. He's also so much better in man than he is in zone, as when put in zone, his anticipation takes a hit and he's just not great at working with receivers in space. Finally, his overall fluidity could also use some touch. Newton is a ball skill machine that teams will love to see at the next level. His most common mock placement is to the Detroit Lions. Next up is Toledo's Quinyon Mitchell, coming in 8th on this consensus list. One of the best ball hawks in this class, he's going to be one to watch for in the first round when the draft comes around. Mitchell's ball production is phenomenal, with 6 interceptions and 37 pass breakups over his last 2 seasons. Sure, he played in the MAC, but why does that matter here? He's got the click and close ability of a top-notch corner, which is led by his great explosiveness to use one foot to start closing at efficient rates. On the flip side, he's much better at breaking the ball up than picking it off, as his interception production was manipulated by 1 game last season. He's not elite laterally, and most of his great athleticism comes from straight line speed and explosiveness. Finally, his man coverage overall could be better. Mitchell is still a dog. Don't let the negatives twist it. His most common mock destination is to the Atlanta Falcons. In 7th on this list, Ohio State's Denzel Burke makes his appearance. Yet another great Ohio State defender, he's going to bring great value to the league. I think my favorite part about Burke's game is his diagnosis ability. He's so good at knowing what the offense is doing and predicting what his receiver is about to do. He's got some really nice athletic traits to recover if he predicts wrong, with great deep speed and short area explosiveness to close in on a wideout. He's also good in run support, the first guy I can really say that about on this list. Negatively, his physical ability is not the best. He's not great in press coverage, and he's much better as a zone defender. He's also sometimes overly aggressive and bites too much on double moves even if he projects the move to happen. Also, his best season was his freshman year, and he's sort of been developing backwards. Burke is an intriguing prospect, but yet he's another one from Ohio State. He has common mocks sending him to the Ravens or the Texans. In the 6th slot, according to consensus, we have Georgia's Kamari Lassiter. He started the 2023 season a bit concerningly, but he's made his way back up and proved to be an NFL talent. First off, he's a nice athlete with good explosiveness to close in on breaks. Speaking of that close, his anticipation is actually pretty nice, and he's good at closing in on off-man coverage. He's also really damn good in run support, being an efficient tackler and being physical enough to drive anyone backwards. On the downside, he's got a pretty lean frame for a corner, being 6 foot, 180 pounds. With that being said, he might be too lean to play outside corner, and most of his good plays actually come from the nickel position. His ball skills also do not translate to production, and a lackluster 1 pick and 14 PBUs in 3 seasons will draw teams away. Lassiter is an interesting prospect, but 100% one prospect that we have to follow as the draft comes around. Common mocks send him to the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's enter into the top 5. Kalen King kicks off this prestigious list. He really impressed his sophomore year, and he brings teams on him early. Just like fellow Penn State product Joey Porter Jr., King plays that physical type of ball that makes him very dominating in one-on-one opportunities. That translates to great press coverage, which is where he will likely find the most success when he goes to the league. Along with that, his anticipation is fantastic, and even in off-man coverage, he shows the top-tier anticipation. Negatively, his junior year was a huge disappointment. Following his 3-pick, 15 pass breakup year, he went for 0 picks and 2 pass breakups, along with allowing more touchdowns in 2023. He also has tendencies to be overly aggressive in the pass game and could bite on double moves at the next level. King is a dominant outside corner, and his NFL upside is unreal. He starts the list of consensus mock draft placement options, him being 32nd overall to the Philadelphia Eagles, but this is before week 14. In the 4th spot on this consensus list, Alabama's Terrion Arnold finds his way. The first of 2 Bama cornerbacks on this list, he's a dominating D-back. Arnold's positives begin with his ball production. In 2023, he came out with 5 interceptions and 11 pass breakups, a dominating overall stat line. He's developed at elite rates as well, being good pretty much everywhere on the field in 2023. His anticipation is elite in both press and off-man coverage, and that click and close is going to be very appealing for the league. On the downside, I don't really have too much to say, but I guess he doesn't have a lot of starting experience, and he could likely benefit from another college season. Trait-wise, he doesn't have the best physical profile, and he is nowhere near on that level as teammate Kool-Aid McKinstry is. Arnold has developed super fast, and NFL teams are going to love that for his translation. His consensus mock draft placement is 22nd overall to the Indianapolis Colts. Creeping into the top 3 is Iowa star Cooper DeJean. He's such a versatile pickup for any team, and I love that appeal for the next level. As I just mentioned, he has that versatile appeal to be labeled defensive back at the next level. He works mostly as an outside corner, but we've seen him everywhere on the field. He's extremely fluid as a corner and is so good at mirroring his assignment on the outside. Combining with being the biggest corner in this class, he's also very athletic, having great speed, especially recovery speed, to close in on a receiver. Obviously, you see that in his special teams upside. On the downside, he has the speed in the short and medium game, but deep speed could use some refinement for the NFL. His technique is not the greatest in press, as he doesn't play the most physical type of ball, and he doesn't have elite footwork by any means. Finally, he may be a tad scheme specific, and his versatility won't be shown as much in the NFL. DeJean is such a good prospect, and we needed at least one top dog from that elite Iowa defense on any of these lists. His consensus mock placement is 18th overall to the Arizona Cardinals. Running up the top spot is Clemson's Nate Wiggins, who makes his appearance on this list. He has been rising up draft boards, and I'm not shocked at all. Wiggins is such a physical outside corner who uses his hands to refuse separation without holding on to the guy. With the ball in the air, he's great at the attack point and uses his nice length and ball skills to deflect the ball out of the air. This shows in his 17 pass breakups over the last 2 years. He is also solid in run support. On the flip side, he is such a lean dude, and despite him being physical, his lean frame holds back some upside in the league. He's also not the best with anticipation, and his click and close struggles in off-man coverage. Finally, his physical skill set brings concerns for holding and PI in the league, even if he prevents that in college. Wiggins is personally one of my stock risers, and it's nice seeing him go up draft boards. He has the final consensus mock draft placement on this list, being mocked 11th overall to the Las Vegas Raiders. And now, to round out this top 10 list, the not-so-shocking appearance of Kool-Aid McKinstry finally comes. His production is not the best on this list, but he's still a phenomenal prospect. Kool-Aid is the definition of a lockdown cornerback. He allowed 17 receptions in 2023, only allowed 3 touchdowns in his entire career, along with other stuff. He's got the prototypical cornerback frame, and he has some elite length to disrupt the pass. He may be lean, but he has the strides and the athleticism to keep attached to a wideout in the deep game. He also has some elite click and close ability, and his lateral ability and recovery speed is elite. On the downside, he has some issues in press coverage, and his solid physicality might downgrade to mediocre in the NFL. He's also inconsistent in run support, and his tackling abilities just aren't the best, as he missed 9.4% in 2023. Finally, he sometimes struggles to deflect the ball despite his length. Kool-Aid is getting caught up to, but he is still the consensus #1 cornerback in this class. Common mocks have him heading off to the Los Angeles Chargers. What cornerback do you want to see your team draft? Let me know in the comments section below. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I got a lot of NFL draft content coming out in the next few months, so if you're not subscribed, you're missing out. Once again, I'm Chase Keller from Chase Keller Journalism, and thank you guys so much for choosing this channel as your source of sports coverage. I'll see you guys in the next video.